You have to work hard to get to where you want. And that is not the reality that I want to call in. And I see this time and time again. People are trying to create their dream lives off of the structures and systems that they are trying to run away from. Alpha agrees. Welcome to my floor. I'm just going to be doing my makeup. And yes, I have some serious baggage situation going on right now, but all for good reason and worth it in my opinion. What you just saw was my cat who woke us up in the middle of the night with a container stuck on his head. I honestly was like hysterically laughing. I could not contain myself because he was making that sound all night and we were just thinking like we were ignoring him because he usually like goes crazy at night because he's a cat. I literally couldn't get to sleep after that. But before we get into the rest of the video, I just wanted to say welcome to or welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Shalay, and on this channel we talk about spirituality, multidimensionality, and even extraterrestrials. And that was Amani Jen's attempt to try and niche herself. Last week, I actually had some of you guys attending and registering for the Soul Purpose Masterclass. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who attended. I really, really hope that it was exactly what you needed to hear and what you were looking for. The topic of today's video is going to be all about investing in yourself, and what I personally learned after spending at least 20 grand on courses. Something different happens when you actually invest in yourself in programs. I always get asked about the programs that I've done, and I'm really open and transparent about, you know, the money that I've spent and what the journeys have been like for me. And every single time, regardless of my experience in the program, it's been a vital lesson I've needed to learn and an up-leveling experience. So I'm not sitting here shitting on courses online and things like that. This is not the point of the video at all. I absolutely would not be where I am without having made those decisions in investing in myself. But there is something I have learned along the way, and I don't believe that you need to spend 20 grand on courses to figure this out. Honestly, it is truly just this one thing, and if you can focus on this one thing, if you can practice this one thing, if you can become the master of this one thing, then you've hacked this experience, you've hacked the human experience, you've hacked yourself, you've hacked the universe, and you know exactly how to live an aligned life, and you will live an aligned life. So where I went wrong was when I was looking for programs to be a part of, my ego was thinking, okay, I'm gonna learn how this person did it, I'm gonna learn how, you know, they are and how they operate and the way that they do things. I'm going to implement that into my own life and I'm going to make it. I'm going to have everything that I've ever wanted. I'm going to call in my manifestations. And as soon as you come from that energy, as soon as you start trying to be like other people and trying to copy their methods to success, that's where you fuck up. As blunt as that sounds, honestly. But that is not where your energy should be, and that is where majority of people's energy are, right? Think about our schooling experience. We were taught to listen to adults. We were taught to listen to the people that supposedly knew more than us, right? And we couldn't make our own decisions. We weren't taught how to trust our own intuition. So naturally, you know, even when you've had a spiritual awakening, that's how you're programmed. You're going to be looking at all these other mentors in this space and you're going to be thinking, I need to learn from them because they've got codes to teach. And yes, they do have codes to teach. They can help you, but you need to still stay centered in your sovereignty and you need to have your intuition at the forefront of everything. If somebody else is coming to you saying the only way that you're going to get there is doing this, this is what I did, this is the proof in my own life, this is what I've been able to call in, but your intuition is saying no, fuck no, that's not right for me, I know that I need to go this way, that's the voice that you need to listen to, and that's hard. That's not easy. If that was easy, everyone would be doing it and everyone would be living their dream life. So as I was investing in all of these programs and these courses, I was still trying to be like other people the entire time. Right now, I'm in a situation where I am truly living my dream life. I am truly in a place where I've manifested everything I've set out to manifest. It is absolutely incredible. And I only did that this year. But as I look back on my journey, right, my journey of my whole awakening and how it's been, I've realized that I was being given the guidance that I only took this year a long time ago. Your intuition is the only one that's going to know how you are going to get to your version of your dream dream life, how you are going to get there. And I'm highlighting you because nobody else can give you that formula. Yes, we can learn from others, we can get inspired by others, but as soon as you put those other people on pedestals and put your intuition below those other people, you've lost the entire point of this experience. So when you're getting into that space of like ready to invest in someone, make sure you're asking yourself, are you doing it from a place of lack, or are you doing it from a place of empowerment, right? Are you doing it to copy their formula? Are you trying to like learn how they did it? Or is it just to give you more skills that are going to help you on your journey, on the path that your intuition is taking you down? I'm actually pretty impressed with how far I've gotten on my makeup, but usually I can do my makeup in like 15 minutes. So I'm going to turn this off and finish this, and then I'll get back to you guys. So apparently there are all these like Aries placements at the moment, so lots of fiery, impulsive energy. And this is what my cat has legitimately decided to do. Like, is he for serious? Yeah, mate, you. I created an entire business structure that I've already shared with you guys on this channel. You can check out that video here. I convinced myself that this was my soul purpose and this was exactly like what my soul wanted. And there are two things to this. Like, while I do think I needed to create that business to have the realization that I did have and learn the lessons that I needed to learn, but also my intuition was already telling me before that moment that that was not the way that my soul wanted to express energetically, that that business model, that business structure didn't support me. One of the biggest quantum leaping experiences for me on my journey was actually shutting that business down and saying, no, I don't want to do that. And I literally went within for months, right? Trying to like come to terms with that decision. But I'm just a massive believer that your soul knows what it's doing. Your soul knows exactly what it's doing. When I made YouTube and I had the intuitive, guidance to do YouTube, once I did that, the next pieces of the puzzle came together, and I did not know that this was where I was going to go. I ended up channeling this program called Multidimensional Living. Now, I've been saying multidimensional living since the start of the year, and I had no idea that it was going to turn into this self-mastery and universal mastery program. I launched it for the first time in the masterclass, so you would have seen it if you joined the Never Be Confused About Your Soul Purpose Again masterclass. I'm so excited for this program because this is truly what I needed at the start of my awakening. I didn't need to sit there learning how other people did it. What I needed to learn was how can I actually get closer to my intuition and trust that voice, be able to move through that doubt, that resistance, that fear, know what to listen to, what not to listen to, and make that leap in creating my dream life. That is what I needed to learn. Instead, I went in cycles trying to be like other people, trying to be like the mentors that I bought from, the teachers that I was trying to learn from, right? Instead of being able to receive their codes, receive their wisdom, but listen to my intuition at all costs. And this is what I want to help you do in multidimensional living. That is what the entire program is about. It is a self-mastery and universal mastery program dedicated specifically to you and how you work. I want to show you exactly what's going on in your mind, what voices are what is the ego, what is the unintegrated ego, what is the higher self. How do you actually tap into your intuition? How do you use that intuitive muscle? How do you experience energy? How do you interpret energy? Because everything in this universe is energy. And if you don't have this understanding of energy, then it's going to be very difficult to call in the life that you're trying to call in. It's a 3-month program, and for the entire 3 months, I'm going to be putting you in situations where we are training that intuitive muscle. I want to get you working on your intuition, relying on your intuition at all costs. So you'll have no choice but to actually listen to that voice. And through that practice, that is what's going to make that voice really strong. It's one thing also having heard the voice, but you need to understand the emotional alchemy. You need to understand how to actually work through emotional blocks, doubts, and fears, right? And that's a lot of what I talk on this channel. That's how I basically live my life. I'm constantly calming my nervous system down, reprogramming myself to actually call in the version of my life that I want to experience, to be the version of myself that I want to be. Because sometimes that doubt and that fear can be so profound, and if you don't have the appropriate tools in place, if you don't know how to work with it, then you're highly unlikely to actually take the steps forward that you need to take to be leaping into your dream life. I then want to show you how you're going to consciously create with the universe, how you are going to consciously choose your vibration, right? Choose the energy that you want to be in today, because the truth is you can get to where you want to get to through the energy of pleasure, play, and receptivity, and just fucking enjoying life. You don't have to be miserable through the process, right? There are going to be moments that are going to be hard, of course, but that is the reality of life. We're here to hold the duality, but I want to show you how to actually choose the path of least resistance and how you can actually start enjoying your life now and not waiting for a potential outcome of the future, which is what many people end up doing. And then they end up completely missing this experience and not enjoying their life. You're going to learn how to connect to your spirit guides and spirit team, to your multidimensionality. We have so much help on the other side. I kid you not, guys. Like, I actually didn't really connect very much to Ascendant Masters until actually launching this program. So since launching this program, I've had Jesus present himself to me. I've had Ganesh, who is the god of removing obstacles. I've had Horus presenting himself to me. You know, these are just like energies, and I dive deep into it in the actual program about, you know, what these multidimensional beings are, how to work with their energy, how to call upon them, how to connect to your spirit guides for answers, and all of the things that you need to know, because that's one thing that we constantly forget, including myself. I'm constantly sitting here going, oh my God, like, you know, this is so hard, or I need help with this, and how am I going to get through this? And then I remember I just need to ask my guides. And as soon as you let them help you, as soon as you ask, it's like magic. Magic comes through, honestly. Finally, I'm also going to dive into masculine and feminine polarities. This makes up the entire universe. And when you understand this, you've learned how to hack this experience. It's so vital in understanding how the universe works and how to work with yourself and consciously create with the universe. It's a group mentoring experience. I am so about community. I would not be here without community. Honestly, without my soul sisters that I met through investing in myself, I would not be sitting here. They are a big reason as to why I continue to show up every day. Being able to rise alongside them is the most empowering feeling ever. And that is the intention that I've set for Multidimensional Living, for Soul Family to assemble. So you're going to have access to a community who see the world through your eyes, who are doing what you're doing, so you're not alone in the process. Bi-weekly intuition tests, like I said, I'm going to put you in situations where you have to rely on your intuition. We're going to have 4 live mentoring sessions a month. 2 are going to be with me, and it's going to be in regards to the content, any questions that you have. We're going to do like healings, rituals, and all of the things together, as well as 5 sessions from 5 special guest teachers that I'm actually going to have in the program. These women are absolutely incredible. They're going to be doing healings with the group, readings with the group. They're going to be doing live activations, pleasure practices. It's really powerful to be able to learn from different people. We all have our unique codes. There are going to be people that you really resonate with, that you needed to receive that from, that it's just going to like turn on that light switch. So I just think it's so powerful to be able to infuse them into the program as well as a wide range of mindset and spiritual tools. I don't resonate with one way of doing things. It's not a one size fits all thing, right? I'm going to show you everything you need to know, all the things that you can play with. I'm also an EFT practitioner now. I got my certificate, which was super exciting. I didn't know how powerful EFT was until I actually started to do it properly, and I was like, oh my goodness. I'm going to show you how you can do it on yourself and tailor it to yourself, as well as a bunch of other mindset and reprogramming tools that you can start playing with, that you can start experimenting with to see what resonates and see what doesn't, so that you can start consciously working with yourself. So if the entire time that I've been talking about this program, your intuition has just been going off, you're getting goosebumps, your body's telling you to pay attention, that's your intuition telling you that it is a fuck yes. I would love to have you a part of the program for the next 3 months and just watch the evolution of you. Enrollment for this year is going to end on the 30th of June 2022, so you don't have a lot of time to get in now. Stop telling yourself no and finally do what your intuition is actually telling you to do. this is the first step to trusting that voice and strengthening this connection to yourself. I spent the rest of the day just finishing up on some work that I needed to do, and I always love to balance out a masculine day of doing with some energetic practices that align me. And as you can see, 444, that is my sign from the universe that I am protected and divinely guided. So I love to do some breath work throughout the day, coupled with meditation. I really just intuitively feel into what feels right on the day. Not every day looks the same, however, I do make sure to do some sort of practice, and I'll do it multiple times a day. So in the morning, in the middle of the day, and at night. I really wanted to ground today, so I just spent some time grounding and putting my feet on the dirt, which is what grounding is. I love doing this little yogi squat. It feels so good to really stabilize the root chakra. This is like a classic example of when the ego and the intuition come in, right? And it really takes you gaining this self-awareness to understand what voice is what, and also be conscious of the decisions that you're making in that moment. Are you going to choose the voice that is keeping you limited and keeping you in the same cycles that you're trying to break away from? Or are you going to follow that expansive voice that's getting you to do the thing that is different, that is getting you to do the thing that is going to put you out of your comfort zone? And this voice can just be so sneaky, like you don't even realize that it's coming in sometimes because it's so habitual, right? It can be so programmed into us that we don't even know that we're doing it. So for example, at the beginning of this launch for Multidimensional Living, I said, once the launch period ends, I will celebrate. I will start celebrating having now finally being able to like leave my job and all of that, and I'll buy myself this beautiful pendulum that I wanted from Lior Alexandra. They're actually called amulets. I don't know why I said pendulum, but they're so beautiful. The company is called Alchemy by LA, and the jewelry is infused with intention. You can actually learn all about them on Instagram. They have a website. I'll leave it all linked below if you want one. People have incredible stories about wearing them. So I told myself that as a treat after the launch, I will buy myself this necklace. So this morning I'm in a meditation practice and my higher self comes in and she's like, why aren't you allowing yourself to do all these things now? Why are you waiting until after the launch? Like the things that I wanted to do were get a massage, get acupuncture, go to a market, like all of these things that I couldn't do on the days that I had to go into this other work. It was only like 2 days a week. I was barely working there, but still energetically it meant that I was tied to that place and to my old life. So I really had to like fully let that go, right? Anyway, so I've created this rule for myself. As long as I do this hard work, which is the launch of the program, then I can then get the reward. And lots of people tell themselves this, you have to work hard to get to where you want. And that is not the reality that I want to call in. And I see this time and time again. People are trying to create their dream lives off of the structures and systems that they are trying to run away from. Alpha agrees. When I had this realization, I was like, of course, I'm not going to wait until I do hard work or I do the thing in order to get what I want. I want it, which means that I should just get it now because I'm worthy just as I am. So I'm on the website. I'm like, okay, I'm going to grab my amulet today, and I booked in my acupuncture appointment. I'm going to book in a massage. I'm like, why am I putting that on hold? That's not the energy we are calling in. So I go on the website to choose the amulet that I'm going to buy, and I'm searching through them, and then I just had this realization that I actually wanted 2 amulets. I wanted a small one and I wanted a big one, but I was like, no, I'll only get one, right? We limit ourselves. It's always one or the other. It's not all. It's not both. It's not you get to have it all, right? It's like, okay, I'll have one and I can't have the other one. It's always this like this or that type energy. And I don't want to call in that energy into my life. So I had this realization and I'm like, no, fuck that. I'm going to get both of the amulets. It was $60 shipping because I live in Australia. It's an American brand. I was like, fuck it. I'm going to do it because I am worth it. And this is the energy that you want to be in. Because even though this is such a material thing that I'm talking about right now, it's these little decisions that we make in everyday life that affect the big picture. It's honestly our ability to pick ourselves up on these little things, because how we do one thing is how we do everything. So if you can call yourself out on this like little bullshit behavior that's keeping you in the same cycle, that is how you start to change the story, and then you send a different frequency out into the universe. You show the universe a different way of doing things. You're like, no, actually, I get to have all of it. Because you do. The limitations are all the bullshit that we need to break away away from that we need to program. And that is the stuff I'm going to help you do in multidimensional living. I'm gonna leave the video there. Thank you so much for listening. As always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, but I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.